at noontime. You're in the middle of the week. You're in the middle of your day. I hope it's been a great morning. And it is now time to take a break. And you're going to watch me create. Today is November 13th. And I know that because it is my mother's birthday. She is absolutely awesome. She lives right down the street, 7 doors down, so I get to see her often. She's definitely my best friend, one of them. My husband's in there too. But anyways, happy birthday, Mom. And we're going to go celebrate her tonight. It is a great day. So my name is Colleen Magnus, and I come to you live every Wednesday at noontime on the East Coast in Chesapeake, Virginia. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. I typically show you cards. I love special folds, teaching techniques. I love to teach, honestly. I may teach you what to do, may teach you what not to do, but I always promise to teach you something. Well, today we're going to make a pumpkin. You know, I've always had that dream of having your Thanksgiving table set up with a good china, which I really don't have. But anyways, probably some of the best paper products that are decorated. And maybe like a little gift at each one's table that you could put their name on so they know where they are sitting. So I am going to show you how to make a pumpkin that can do just that. What's really cool is you could also leave it as a centerpiece. And I'm going to put a tea light inside to show you because it's a lot of fun as a centerpiece. And you can make them different sizes. So don't be afraid to play with this because it's a lot of fun. So let me boot up my computer here. I'm going to see who's joining me live. And we're going to turn this down and we will get started. So hold on. Y'all know the fire drill. Da-da-da. Here we go. So you put you down. There we go. All right. All right. There's a little sneak peek right there of what we will be making. So let me welcome you today. I'm so glad y'all are here with me. Sarah, so good to see you. Yes, it feels like Thanksgiving weather today. We are spoiled in Chesapeake, Virginia. We have had a gorgeous fall, and today is the first chilly day. I think it got in the 40s last night, low 40s, maybe 30s somewhere. And although I would much rather be cold than hot, I'll tell you that right now, it's a little chilly, but I'm loving it. I really, really am. Gonna have my fireplace on tonight. Pete will be laying in front of it in his bed, so he's gonna love it too. Hey, Mary, hello from cool Indiana. And Gwen, I'm glad you're here. Hello, Diane. It is chilly in Chesapeake, but good. My husband is actually out fishing. He sent me some pictures. Him and his friend Mitch were catching some trout. But I know they're chilly because they have been out there since 6:30 this morning. It's almost 6 hours. So the fishing must be good today. Carol, hello, and Joan. Oh my goodness. Amy, Lisa, so good to see you, my dear. She's going to watch the replay tonight. So thank you, Lisa. It's always the best thing about doing the lives is that you can come live or you can watch later. And I appreciate your support at either time. Tink, you're here. Yes, I'm glad you are watching live. Gwen, I'm glad you like it. Judith and Kay, on your way camping. Kay's going to have a nice campfire tonight, too. Kay saw this at my team meeting the other night. We did a team swap, which I'm going to share those with you next week because I have a really fun little Christmas treat we're going to make next week. But this little pumpkin kind of kicked my butt when Kay saw it. And I think it was really operator error. I actually made this pumpkin before I went to the lake for a Stampin' Up on stage event. And I think I just had so much overload from there that I came back and I just couldn't get it together. So anyways, I was doing all the right things. I had just got ahead of myself. Bren fixed it and we raffled that one off at the meeting. Not raffled, it was a little door prize. But this is a pumpkin, sweet, simple, easy. But what you can do is if you go to your local Dollar Tree, $1.25 tree, you can go ahead and get the little tea lights, and I'll hold it so you could see it. And you've got a little tea light in here. That is stinking cute. I don't know, I've got all the lights on so much so you really won't see it glowing. But I think if you had these, a couple of these, or even different sizes, and had them in the center for a table centerpiece, I think that would be so cute. So that's what we're going to make today. But before we get started, I do want to let you know that Stampin' Up just started a sale today. It is their seasonal sale, and it is only for 3 days, y'all. So I got my order in this morning, and I got some of the orders of my customers in, and it's really a great deal. You will get 20% off your bundles. Now that's off the regular price of a bundle. So they already give you 10%. You're getting an additional 10%. But I was shocked how much savings that really is. 20% off your bundles, 20% off your designer series paper, 10% off your cardstock, and 10% off inks. So that's your classic ink, that's your refills, that's your blends. Hello. I went ahead and picked up some of the blend colors that I didn't have yet, or if I had worn a couple out, I restocked those. But this sale has started. Also it's your ink refills. So anything Stampin' Up ink, just not like the Memento or the Versamark. Exclusive ink to Stampin' Up. So you heard all about this if you are on my newsletter list. If you don't currently receive my newsletter, please go to creatingwithcolleen.com and join there. I had this information out to you a couple days ago so you could work on your wish list, but it's just a great time to stock up. And keep in mind, this is from the annual catalog only, but I always feel sorry for our annual catalog. It is such a great catalog, but as soon as a mini comes out, it gets put on the back shelf. So stock up on all your staples so that you can save now and create more later. I do need you to know quantities are limited. Especially things like the Whisper White, Very Vanilla paper. Stock up on that, but please do it soon because they do have limits, and it's possible you wouldn't get some of the things you wanted. So the November host code is right here. If your order is under $150, please use that code. If it is over, that's fine. You'll receive 10% of your merchandise and host benefits, but either way, you're going to get a beautiful hand-stamped thank you card from me. So let's get going. Let me see. Robin is here. Woohoo! Robin is here. Very good. Oh, that was smart. Amy Davis said she needed to reach her quarterly minimum, and so she did, and it was a great deal, Amy, because being a part of Stampin' Up, you save 20% all the time. You can save 25% and even more. But whenever there's a sale, that is an addition to your savings already. So, yeah, you got like 45% off on your bundles. If anybody is ever interested in joining Stampin' Up for the discount or to just be part of a great community of stampers, I would love to have you in my Stampin' family. So just contact me to let me know, or you can actually just join right here at creatingwithcolleen.com. I'm very active with my team. I love them dearly. Okay, one of the things I always forget is to give away cards from the previous. So here, I drew three names, and you'll have 2 weeks. You'll have this week and next week to email me your, what do you call that? Your address. Please contact me. You can also private message me. That's probably easier, but whatever works for you. But this here we did with the Changing Leaves specialty fold card. I really enjoyed this. Rhonda Boner. This is a Bonner, however you say it, probably Rhonda Bonner. Rhonda, I drew your name for this card. Here, this I had drawn and I never heard from them, so we're going to do it again because Bountiful Blessings is a great time of the year since it is Thanksgiving. Marva Dahoney, this here, I will mail that to you if you send me your address. And then last but not least, Kathy Vaverka. I have this card. This was one that we did. Very, very simple, very fun, using your designer paper. So y'all will mail me your address. I'll be happy to send these cards to you. Let me tuck them in here somewhere, otherwise I'll forget whose was who. I'd have to go back and watch my video. All right. Well, it is a busy time of the year, but it's a great time of the year. And I'll tell you more about that later. So let me show you how we're going to make this cute little pumpkin. What you are going to need is you are going to need a 6 by 7.5 inch piece of pumpkin pie, and I'm going to emboss that with the birchwood folder. So this folder I thought would give a really nice texture to the pumpkin, and it did, which is why I'm actually using it again. At my meeting, when I was showing them, they wanted a bumpily pumpkin. So I used the dotted circles, and that worked too. But I was more partial to the birchwood. And then if you have the So Swirly embossing folder, this is just a great texture background. That would work too. And I think what I really love about all these folders, they're like 6 by 8 inches. So instead of trying to emboss all these little strips at once, I can emboss once and then cut my strips. So 6 by 7.5 inch pumpkin, because I am going to need, when I go to cut this, I'm going to need 10 strips that are 6 inches by 3/4 inch. I will also need a 1/4 by 6 strip of mossy meadow. I'm going to need a 1 1/8 by 3.5 inch calypso coral. I love calypso coral and pumpkin pie together. I'm going to need a 1 by 3 inch piece of very vanilla. I will need a circle. You can use the 1 3/8 inch punch, or you can actually use any of the circle dies that we have. The deckled circles would work, anything like that. This is my base. So this is 1 3/8 circle with Mossy Meadow. And then I did use the Change in Leaves bundle because I knew I could cut and emboss this sleeve all at the same time. I have that video on my Creating with Colleen Magnus YouTube channel under live. You can go see it. But I used Old Olive from that one. So take yourself a screenshot because I did not pre-take a picture. I think I'm going to start, when I put this on my Facebook page, put a picture of the project, of course with the link, but now you have the opportunity to get those measurements yourself. All right. So first thing we are going to do is, let's make our label. Then I can put this out of the way and then I'll show you the pumpkin. So for this, I have the 1 3/8 Very Vanilla. And the stamp set I'm using, I really like this right from the starts. So here I have Iconic Imagery. This is an online exclusive, and that has designer paper that matches. But what I loved about it is it covers a whole host of holidays. I mean, you have Christmas trees, you can celebrate anything, you can be grateful for anything. You have birthday candles, snowflakes, hearts for Valentine's. You can mix your words to say exactly what you want. You know, your leaves with your holly berries, just really a good general set. So I'm going to take the word grateful, and this is where you could actually put somebody's name. Like if you wanted these to be place settings at a table, this is where you would want to put their name. But I'm just going to make it very generic, and I'm going to say grateful, because that's pretty much what I always try to be, is grateful. And that's a little lower. Let me do both sides because y'all know I can, and that would drive me nuts. A little higher. It's hard when you're stamping and you don't have your head right under it. Okay, I like that side better. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it into a banner. You always pick that's why I love stamping. You have 2 sides to every piece of paper, so there's 2 chances. Some crafts you don't get a second chance. Stamping you do. And then you just always pick the lesser of the evils, which one you like better. So I like the first one better. But that's the way you do it. And if you mess up both sides, you're still blessed because it's just cardstock. You're in good shape. I'm going to trim this just a little shorter because I want a smaller tail. But when I do my banner, I'm going to cut up the middle, cut to there, from the corner to there, corner to there. And that gives me my banner like that. So now with this being an 1/8 inch bigger top to bottom, but about a 1/2 inch longer, I'm going to take this and I will put it on there to create the edge of my banner. So here I'll line it up. So I'm basically making sure the top, the bottom, and the left are all nice and even. And then I kind of don't have to cut up the middle because I have this to follow. So I'll go that way. I'll come in and go this way. Let me cut that just a smidgen more. That's what I love about a paper snip. You could take less than a smidgen and make it even. So that's my banner. And then I always like to make it look like a banner. So I take it and I kind of fold it this way and fold it this way. And then I'll set that aside. So, oh, Terry, I'm glad you're here. Yes, it is a cute project. I do cards most of the time, but I think sometimes you need to switch it up just a little bit. Hey, Mary, I'm glad you are here. So this is my 6 by 7.5 inch pumpkin pie. And again, I'm going to use the birchwood folder. And y'all know the trick. When you have a folder, take the lip, the sticky part of that folder, and just tuck it on the inside. So this way you can pull this in and out easily all the time. You're not always trying to, always grab the paper though. You're not trying to pull, you know, open it every time, because eventually your little envelope rips. So just keep it in there, and then you can slide it out and slide it right back in. So again, this is probably a good 6 by, that'd be at least 8-inch folder. I love the size. So to emboss this, I'm going to put it in here with that 6-inch side. I will go ahead and get my die cutting machine. I'll put that there. And since this is a 3D folder, I only need the base plate. Always put it in with the folded edge first, and never back it up to get it deeper. If you really want it deep and you think it needs a second time, take it out and put it through again, because what can happen is, as you back it up, it could put pressure on that fold up here and you could break your folder. And then you'd be sad. I don't want that. So I'll just put this through. That. And I have this beautiful texture. Look at how pretty that is. And I really think on this one, either side really does work for you. So now what I'm going to do though, is I have to cut this. And when I cut, I think it's easier to go ahead and work all the way down. Instead of trying to push this in here at 3/4, cut it, 3/4, cut it, we are going to work backwards. So with our cutter, y'all know that's a scoring blade, that's your cutting blade. It has a magnet here. So when you're opening it, open from the magnet. I usually try to get it there, and sometimes it sticks. Open it from where the magnet is. And then y'all know to take a piece of the tear-in tape, which is a double-sided tape. I actually put it down the whole part of my measurement here, but I never tore the back piece off. So basically it's like I taped a piece of white underneath my dimensions here, my ruler, so I can easily see them. It's a little coping skill trick there for you. All right, so here I was at 6. So I'm just going to come through and put this all the way down. So that is at 3/4. That's not going to work. Hold on. 3/4. This was 7.5. That's why. Thinking 6. Open it up. This right here, I had cut it 7.5. So if I just go to 3/4 down, which is actually 6 3/4, I'm going to cut it. Then I'm going to move it another 3/4 inch down, which is at 6. Let's go another 3/4, which is actually 5 1/4. And after that, we have 4 1/2. You need 10 of these. 3 3/4. But see, I'm just counting as I go down. Then this would be 3. 2 1/4. Is that right? No, it's 2 1/8. Can't do that. Okay. 2 1/4. You got 1 1/2. See, it's tighter on your fingers here. And then instead of trying to slide this down and do 3/4 here and trying to hold on to it because it's underneath there, I will take it to this 3/4 on this side. I don't know if that'll make a difference or not, but we're going to find out. Okay. And I would, when I'm doing this, I would cut from bottom up because it's pushing and that paper is getting held at the top. Sometimes if you try to slide it down, this will slide too. So I should have 10 pieces that are 3/4. Now I can definitely take my blending brush, but I had already, remember our old sponges? I had one of these. So I thought I would just sponge it with that. And you don't have to be particular. So I am sponging with Calypso Coral because, again, I love the Calypso Coral when I put it with the pumpkin pie. So let me tell you about my weekend. Every other year, Stampin' Up! Has a virtual, well, every other year it's virtual, but it's called Backstage. So it's where the leaders, where if you're a silver elite and above, you have a team underneath you and you have a certain amount in sales, they have a leadership event. The first year we went was in New Orleans, and it was awesome because that was like the first big event we had after COVID. And just the people that you've met for all the years, I am so blessed with the amount of people that I know, that I love. Y'all know, I already know stampers are the best people. So then last year it was in Las Vegas, and it was more at a resort, and that was awesome. Well, this year it was virtual. So my theory is just because it's virtual and you have to watch it on a computer, you still can travel. So my dear friend, many of you know, Tanya Reed, her family has a lake house in Lake Gaston, and y'all know that's my most favorite part of the world. I just love Lake Gaston. It's my happy place. So we bunched up our computers, took a little bit of work, and for a solid 2 days, we listened to speakers, we had training, we did breakout sessions where, again, you get to see many people that you knew through the years. So I have a lot of stuff going on in my head that I want to share with my team and, incorporate for myself, but just a blessing. I think everything about Stampin' Up! I've ever done was a blessing. And then the fun part was when we did our breakout session, Shelly Gardner was actually in our session. And her and Sarah both are some of the most real people I have ever met. Just very kind, very sincere, very approachable. Just absolutely love them. So that's what I did. Then I came home to my team meeting Monday. Love being with them. We had a great crowd. We do a potluck dinner, and we swapped. So this is what I was going to make for my 3D swap. But after doing the first one, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I would have had to sponge 150 of these, and my hands would really be protesting. So that's why I wanted to show how to make it. And then next week, I'll show you what I really made for my swap. I think it turned out cute. And I'll share what everybody else made for their swaps too. So you're going to have lots of inspiration next week. Okay, there you go. So I've got 10 pieces, 3/4 by 6. Now, one of the tools that I have had since I started is called a crocodile. And many of you might have that too. It is a great tool. It looks like this. I always called it my jaws of life. I said, if you ever got in a car wreck and you need someone to get you out, just let me know. I'll bring this and cut through the metal, because it does cut through metal. So I am going to take all these. I'm going to actually take my bone folder first. Well, let me see. Actually, I don't have to. Let me do that next when I put them together. If you don't have one of these, you can still punch your holes. But you want to go ahead and just punch it in the same place. So you could line a couple of them up at the same time. But with this, you literally, when you put it in here, I can punch this and all 10 get punched at the same time. It's crazy, but it works. So I have that on that side. And I have this on this side. I was debating whether it's better to use your bone folder first or after, so we're going to find out. But I have done all 10 on the same side. So what I'll do here, I'm just going to take my bone folder and curl them in. So the sponged edge is on the outside. Has anybody ever made one of these? Have you done something like this before? This idea has been around for a long time. So I was just curious. But I'm already putting the bend into these. As such. So y'all give a shout out if you've made it. You can make this with designer paper also. And then you probably wouldn't even have to sponge if you didn't want to. Oh, good. This is new for Amy. I'm so glad, Amy. Now, when I first did my pumpkin, we have these on the online exclusives. It's called Round and Square Brats. And they did work with the first one. I think it's a little bit, kind of a little bit tailored more for card making. You still have a nice long brad here. They come in circles and they come in, let me see if I can find a circle. They were the tiny ones. I think I used a lot of them. So they come in a circle and they come in the square or a diamond, depending on how you hold it, and black and white. So these were great, but again, y'all know I have trouble with my hands doing little. So I basically used these brads from eons ago, and these were just a little bit bigger and easier for me to hold on to. But when I looked at it, I'm not mistaken. I want to say the stem of it was probably the same. Yep, it was pretty much the same. So any kind of brad that you have will do. So I'm going to put all these in here. And I'm going to line them up so I can get that hole all at one time. Let me see. All right, we'll make it get in there. Okay. So the other thing, oh, getting ahead of myself. For this, I think it worked out good to have a base because that kind of was able to hold it a little more steady. So I'm just going to take my piercing mat. I'm going to take a pick tool. Looks like the center. And just do a hole. So I have that. So now what I'll do is I'm going to take this, put it through the bottom. Then I can take all these. And I'm just going to make sure that they all get in there. Put them on one at a time. Pull it, make sure nobody's loose. And then I can go ahead and open this up. And that'll hold it down. So for the top, I'm going to do a couple things. I wanted to put my label on here also. So what I will do is I'm going to take another one of these. Let's see which way I did it. I actually did it going in, so we'll see that, and then that can be on the top too. I'm going to take another punch. This might be a little small. Let me see. Well, I can use the other one too. Yeah, let me do that. That looks like a 1/8, which I'm going to use on my vine. So here, I'm punching that hole there. And I want to get all these assembled. This is my vine. So what I will do is I will take, I only have a pencil, but that's okay. I'm going to take that 1/8 punch that I just had, and I will just put a hole at this end. And this is something you could also do with a glue dot if you wanted. But for the vine, I'm going to hold it here, and I'm going to make a curly Q. So I'm just wrapping this around. Pencil would have been a little smaller, but all in all, I think it'll work good. So there's my curly Q. And now when I put all of this together, I think it's easier for me to just, I'm going to take this. Hopefully it won't rip it because this is bigger than the other ones. But I have my vine. I'm going to take my label. So I have that. And then I will take this and I'm going to put it through all these pieces here. Okay. Like this. And this is where I blew it at the meeting, so let's hope it doesn't happen now. What we figured was, I got a little too tight. What we figured is as I pull these, that was my problem, was I tried opening it. Well, the bigger ones are going to be snug. Let me see. Okay. I just start pulling these apart. So here's one. They'll get easier the more you do. 2. Start separating them. And you can see how it starts turning into your pumpkin. So with the smaller brads, it isn't quite as snug, but I think in the long run, it's going to be a whole lot more sturdy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Some of these are together. Some of them like to hide behind the other one. Let me see. Okay, so Tink, you've seen these, but you haven't seen them how they're made. Your first one's like probably your hardest one, like anything in life, and after that, you're going to whip right through them. But see how now that I have this, I used to just start playing with it. Push that down. You can make them a little flatter. But where I made my mistake was I was trying to pull them apart like with it being a straight line. You can't. Once you get it going, then you can separate these. And that is how a pumpkin is born. So I can put them down a little bit. And then what I did for my leaf here, again, I have the leaf, but I didn't like it to be just flat. So let me grab a scrap piece of paper here. Okay. So what I did is I took my mossy meadow and some of this, and then I just kind of like to go a little bit darker on the edges, but not all the way in because I want that old olive to show through. Like such. And then I can take my Wink of Stella and bring some shimmer into this. And that really does bring it to life. I know you probably can't see it on there, but it does bring it to life. And again, I don't want it flat, so I can just take my bone folder and just give a little curl on those leaves. Now for this, I figured I'd keep it simple. I wasn't trying to get all of this on there. Let me curl this again. Okay. And I'm just going to put it on with a dimensional because it will stick to that brad to the top. So here I've got that. And then I fell in love with these embellishments, y'all. They're called the faux glass dots. And they are great for the fall colors. I mean, it looks like there's definitely a pumpkin, a Cajun craze, an old olive, and a crushed curry. So I'm going to take some of these. I think I want to put a large old olive here. And I could put it there if I want, kind of like that. And then over here, I can take one of the smaller pumpkins. And just put that on, where'd it go? On my hand. Put that right there. And then when you take your tea light, just slide your tea light inside with your pumpkin. And put that there, a little separate. Let me turn off some of my lights and see if you can see it. How's that? I can't reach the other one. But when you look in here, again, you can hold it. You might even want to put a little glue dot or something there if you want. But as you look in here, you have your pumpkin tea light, like that. And again, I think if you make different ones, I think it'll be really, really cute on the table. So if you want to make them smaller, just make your strips smaller. You know, they don't have to be, these again are 6 inches by 3/4. You could do a 4 by 1/2 and all different sizes. And keep in mind, I meant to Google it. I didn't get a chance, but I wanted to Google the different colors of pumpkins because they mean something. Y'all might know what some of those mean. I know there's like one that is a bluish pumpkin, like a pool party. I want to say that's peanut allergies. I'm not sure. But different ones, you could do white. I have a white pumpkin downstairs on my table that I love. So just a lot of fun and something different. But keep in mind, you really could, if you wanted to for Thanksgiving, make one of these at everybody's table and put their name on it. Or you can leave the word grateful and go around the table and discuss what you're grateful for. Because it is a time to give thanks. And I think we all can find something to be thankful for. So what did you think? Amy likes it. Very good. Tink, you going to make one now? Yes, I am in Chesapeake, Virginia. Let me see. Let me check. I've been so busy creating, I haven't checked them. Okay, so I need to check my notes. And again, Robin, I'm glad you're here real time. We're going to celebrate you on Saturday when I have a hostess appreciation party with my stamp club in Virginia Beach. Some of us in that club have been together for 23 years. So we have some beautiful friendships there. Let me see. Let me go through. Oh, good. So Diane, this is new for you too, and you haven't made it. Okay, Diane, I want to see what you make. I think you'll do a great job. Again, it was new for Amy. Abby, I am in Chesapeake, Virginia. Thank you for answering that, Amy Davis. Abby, I'm Chesapeake, Virginia, in the Great Bridge area on the East Coast. So let me see. Robin, I did have you in mind with this, even with designer paper. Robin loves to make a lot of different boxes and treats. She does, for Nurse Week, she makes well over 100 projects for them. She's always a blessing to them. So anyways, I'm glad you love it, Carol. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Gwen. Oh, good. And Tink's going to make it too. Sarah, I hope your arm gets better so that you can create. And just remember, you could do this anytime. So I hope you all liked it. It was a little bit of a change from the cards that we make. But I think it was fun. I enjoyed doing something a little different. But I will see you next Wednesday on my Creating with Colleen Magnus YouTube channel. And I believe it's the third Monday. So I will be on Tina MacArthur's Creations from the Heart Scrapbooking Facebook page live. And if you're not familiar with her, she does retreats in the Outer Banks. So even if you live out of town, maybe we can meet up at a retreat there sometime because I do their Stampin' Up classes. Okay, so don't forget the cards here. Again, we have Kathy Vaverka. Then we have Rhonda Bonner and Marva Dahoney. If y'all send me your physical address, I will go ahead and draw names for that. And do not forget about our sale that has started today but ends on Friday, where you can save on all your seasonal items through the annual catalog. So if I can do anything for you, let me know. But I'd appreciate you if you would like and share my video. Please give me a thumbs up. I would really greatly appreciate you helping me get my name out there in the stamping world. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay warm if it's chilly in your area. And I will look forward to seeing you next week at noontime. And thanks for visiting, y'all. You mean the world to me. Take care. Bye-bye.